It's so good to have you, man.
Yeah, same, man. Good to be here.
Thank you, man.
Happy
Thank
to be
you.
here.
Multiple times I told people I'm going to host a guy named Kamoun, and they said, yeah, I know the guy. And then it turned out to be another guy.
Someone else?
Someone else.
I don't know.
No? No recollect? No?
No, never heard. I mean, never heard of another Kamoun,
All right.
another chef Kamoun. So
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I'll it's interesting. I'm
Okay.
gonna go kill him. There's one Kamoun, baby.
I'm the only one.
I am the only Kamoun in the world.
So Kamoun, cumin,
Cumin.
food, cooking.
Yeah.
How, like, where did the passion spring from?
It's meant to be. So the passion started from my mother. My mother is she's a cook. She used to be a caterer, like traiteur.
Oh.
Yeah. And we're like a family of seven.
Oh.
7 siblings.
Big family.
Yeah, big family. And I was the oldest. So technically, I had a lot of responsibilities growing up in an early age. So I had to help out, had to cook, had to do things, and helped out my mom with her business and stuff like that. So when I went to the U.S., first thing I did, guess what?
What was it?
Kitchen, baby. Yeah, that's it. So it's in me. It's my passion. It's my art. Seeing like the happiness in people's eyes when they eat my food.
Of course.
That's my payoff.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
that's
I was teaching a class the other day, and it was a lesson about art. And I asked the students, what forms of art do you know? So painting, sculpture, cinema. And a student shouted, cooking. And then the conversation took a turn, and we started talking about cooking. Why is it that cooking is not considered amongst many, not an art? And it is.
It is.
And then I remember somebody saying, well, I asked them, how do we perceive art? And they said, through our eyes and our ears. We listen to music, we admire a painting, we watch a movie, and then the only art form that doesn't go through those two senses is cooking, because you get to taste cooking.
Well, actually, it goes through the eye.
Huh.
You see the plate when it's well presented, it's well done, a lot of colors. You see the colors, you see the compensation, you see the how it's designed. You perceive it with your eyes first, then with the smell. Then you smell it, then you taste it. So it's actually an art that touches most of your senses.
Yes. It does.
And also it creates a memory in your head.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, when you eat something that touches you, that like fulfills your palate, your sight, your smell, it lives with you.
It does.
It really lives with you. It brings you back. That's why, like in certain restaurants, you have regulars. They always come back for that thing that they had.
Of course. Same dish.
Exactly the same.
The
dish.
regular.
The regular.
Give me the regular.
Yeah, give me that thing I tried 3 months, and that's where it comes to consistency. See, the key to a successful restaurant is the consistency. Is if I give you a dish today, and you come back 3 months from now, you want to taste the same things. You don't want it to be different.
But that's a problem.
It is a problem.
If I own a restaurant and I have this great chef who cooks the same great food, if the chef goes, I'm in trouble, because those people who come asking for the regular are not going to find the same dish.
Well, that's
What happens then?
That's the chef's job to create a brigade, to create people that work with him, to create a staff.
Who can recreate the same dish,
Exactly,
the same way.
the same way.
You think that's possible?
It is possible. You see, it's my job to teach the cooks, the chefs. I always call them chefs because they're like future chefs. To teach them the techniques, to teach them the way they're supposed to do it, and to make them love it. To make them feel proud when they do it, not just because they want to get paid or just that's the job they have or whatever. No, you got to do it because you love it. Yeah. So if I give you a way to do it, you have to follow that way. And I'm always happy with creativity. If you are creative, even if you're a cook, if you bring me something new, and you tell me, hey chef, you know, I created this, and I try it, and I'm like, dude, let's put it on the menu, you know. But going back to the consistency, it is the chef's job to have under his wings the right people that they're gonna carry on his legacy,
Yeah.
whether he's there or not.
Why do I see so many things wrong with the food restaurant service, restaurant service, the food culture? And I feel bad saying this because I know Moroccan cuisine is highly regarded anywhere you go. I remember being in New York and talking to a supervisor of mine. She was an American. And the moment she heard I was from Morocco, the first thing she said about Morocco was the food. She mentioned the food. She said, oh my God, you've got amazing cuisine. And we do. I admit.
Definitely,
I mean,
yeah.
looking at it, comparing it to other cuisines, we have a wealth of dishes and tastes. And at the same time, I've been having bad experiences with restaurant service. I don't know if you can relate, but why would you think that is?
Look, so Moroccan cuisine is a rich cuisine. I mean, now when you go to the U.S., if you go to a restaurant, like fine dining restaurants, whatever, you always find like an item or two that are Moroccan. You know, even the spices. Like ras hanout now, it's in every restaurant in the U.S. That's a fact. What's going on in Morocco now? I mean, the problem is that we lost our identity a little bit. You know, we're not really attached to our roots as much. And when it comes to food, it's becoming money-driven than passion-driven. You know, so you go to places and you try Moroccan cuisine, and let's say you go eat a tagine. Most places now, they don't cook the tagine in the tagine.
You mean here in Morocco
Here
or
in
elsewhere?
Morocco.
Here.
You know, so they cook it, let's say, in a big pan, whatever, saucepan or whatever, like koukout or whatever, and then they put it in the tagine, they present it as a tagine, so you don't get the experience of tagine.
Of course.
And also we have a big problem, which is the service.
Oh yes.
Service here. I'm not generalizing because I've been in places where I was impressed with the service here in Morocco.
Could you name the city at least?
Yeah, I mean, I could name places. Starting from where I'm at right now, we
Okay.
work so hard to have like a really good service, which is like the Andalus, and people are really impressed.
That's
with
a restaurant?
Yeah, the Real Andalus.
In
yeah.
Rabat, Casablanca?
It's in Harhora.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
They say if you go to Arzana, you know, in like the Conrad Hotel, their service is like on point.
Okay.
Yeah. Memounia,
Of course, yeah.
it's huge. And you know, it's people are understanding the because we're open to the world now. So there are a lot of critic, a lot of awards coming to Morocco, starting from the best restaurants in the world. Because like now in Morocco, like they just released the list, and we have 4 restaurants in Morocco that are like the 50 best restaurants in the Middle East.
Okay, amongst the 50 best in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, yeah.
Okay.
And then in the next few years, the Michelin star, they're gonna come to Morocco. So there will be, we will know about those restaurants. But the problem is, so what I would like to see in Morocco is that you don't have to go to a fancy schmancy restaurant and you pay an arm and a leg to get a good service and good food. I want to have the culture of like you just go to a regular restaurant, you know, and get good food, good service.
And you be treated well.
And you be treated well
Yeah.
because you're a client, you're a customer, you know,
Yeah.
you're a paying customer. Like they should understand, like that guy who is serving you, he is getting paid because I am coming in as a client.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you get paid.
So how do you spread that culture if it's not there already? Whose responsibility is it? Restaurant owners?
Culture, you know, media. The media's got power.
Definitely.
You know, so in our TVs, and especially TV, and I'm not talking about like the social media, whatever, but I'm talking about the TV. We need to teach people on how to behave in certain things, on how to do things right. For example, like you look at the media now, you look at TV, they only bring people that they call themselves chefs.
Yeah.
And they present them as chefs, and we all know that they're not chefs. Just because they have 1 million followers or 500,000 followers,
Doesn't mean they're chefs.
it doesn't mean they're chefs.
How do you know that that
Because
guy is
you
a
know,
genuine
it's
chef?
the way they talk, the way the techniques, the way they behave, the way the way they handle themselves around food and stuff like that. You know that guy's never been at a restaurant. You give them a restaurant one day to run a restaurant for one day, they'll mess it up, 100%. It's not easy to be a chef.
Of course.
It takes a lot of hard work.
I've been watching shows and I can tell.
You know.
I've never mingled in a cuisine culture, but I could tell it's a tough
It is
job.
a hard work.
To get all the orders in time and get them out and get them
Exactly.
right.
You have to be up to date. You know, you don't want to lose your client. Let's say I've had a dish for a long time, and then the industry is changing. People have different palates. They go different places. They see different things. So you have to be more creative. You have to squeeze your brain, you know, and think today. You know, you have to be up to date, and that's not easy, but it's doable, and that's our duty, to always make people happy, make their palate happy. I'm concerned about the palate,
Yeah.
you know, the taste buds
Yeah.
that we have. I want to like for me. When I am working and then a server comes to me and we're like, I had a table number, this and that, and they said the food was amazing. I go home happy. I'm like happy as a pig in the mud, man. Like for real, like I am the happiest man on earth. And that's the drive for me, and because I am a chef. So, and I know all chefs are like me, whether you're still a chef de partie or you're sous chef or you're chef or you're an executive chef, we all have the same feeling when we do something good.
Yeah.
So we always try to do something good.
And you get recognition for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We the only thing we ask for is the appreciation.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing, man, to please someone in a matter of taste, to fill your belly and feel good and remember that. We all have memories with the best dishes we've had in childhood. Like my mother's couscous tastes like nothing else. True. And I could taste another amazing couscous, but it's never like my mother's.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's as though you're emotionally attached to certain tastes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I say when a dish creates a memory in your head, or brings back to life a memory you had. Let's say you go to a place. I know a place in San Francisco. It's a Michelin star Moroccan restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's a Michelin star, so you don't find. I think it's the only one so far. And I went there once, and I tried l'ham bil-barqoq. So when they brought it to the table, it does not look like l'ham bil-barqoq. They broke down the recipe and they rebuilt the recipe into this modern cuisine, fine dining. And I looked at it, and even the server has a lot of knowledge. He's an American, but he's got a lot of knowledge about the Moroccan cuisine because that's their job. They have to explain to you what you're eating,
Did he know you were Moroccan when he was
No, they did not.
They did not.
Yeah,
okay.
And they explained it to me in a manner that I was impressed. Mm-hmm. I did not even know most of the things they were saying. I'm like, wow, I did not even know the history of this dish, And then I look at it. It does not look like my mother's ham al-barqoq, but when I tried it, it was the same feeling I had when I eat my mother's ham al-barqoq. So the guy, he succeeded at making it up to date, making it in a fine dining level, but still the taste retaining the taste exactly. So the taste is there.
God.
The presentation is different, and that's when I say breaking down recipes. For example, now I see a lot of chefs that they're trying to call it Moroccan Revisited, and they do some crazy stuff.
But it turns out to be a mess.
Come on, seriously, you look at it, I'm like, I know that thing is not gonna taste right. You taste it, I'm like, this is bullshit, pure bullshit. So yeah, I mean, كل حاجة بقوامها.
Yeah.
You need to have knowledge about what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to have the passion for it, and you need to be an artist in your work.
All right. So do you think this art that we're talking about is something that can be learned from scratch, or do you think some people are just born for the cuisine?
It's both. It's both. Some people are born for cuisine. Some people, they learn. You know, look, it's all techniques. It's like you're becoming a scientist. Because, you know, or a chemist. You know, like when you're doing chemistry, cuisine is chemistry.
It is.
You know, it's like combining things and coming up with something.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a formula.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's passion that some people are born with, and it's also it's something that you can learn. You know, as long as you're smart and you know how to combine, and you can train your palate. You can train the taste, like you know how to combine certain things and come up with a flavor. You know?
Train the palate,
Train the palate.
taste buds.
Exactly.
How so? You mean you might try something for the first time and you don't like it, and then you keep at it until you is it an acquired taste?
No, but I
thing?
mean, like, you know that there's 5 taste buds. So you know that you have to create a dish, and you gotta be balanced with like the saltiness and the acidity and the sweetness and the tartness and stuff like that. So you know that if I'm gonna put, like, let's say this type of meat with this type of vegetables and this kind of sauce, whatever, I know I'm gonna create a harmony, a symphony of flavors.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it's gonna touch your palate. I mean, when you eat it and it touches all your like taste buds, you'd be like, it's a bomb. You know, that explodes in your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's like you train your palate by learning a lot about the combinations in food, and you know exactly each item how it tastes like. You know, I know if I'm gonna put this, I know in my head, I know how it's gonna taste like on the dish.
Man, I can only imagine that takes a lot of practice.
It
How
does.
many times did you get it wrong before you get it right?
Well, look, I get it always right in my head before I even put it on the plate, because I know all the flavors. I can taste it before even like cooking it.
You remind me of the movie Perfume. Did you watch it?
Perfume, of course, I watched Perfume. That was like a sick movie, man.
Susskind, and I watched the movie, then I read the book.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that
Yeah.
concept.
Exactly.
You know, the guy has all the scents in his head.
In his head. It's the same thing with the chef.
And
you know,
just
like,
executes.
You can tell me 4 ingredients and I'll tell you exactly how they're going to taste like, because I already have that kind of taste in my head. I can taste them without even like having them in front of me.
Wow.
Yeah, so it is a skill.
Definitely.
It's definitely a skill, you know, and you know, like most chefs are not really. Most chefs are kind of like introverts. You know, they have that thing inside, like the heat and in the kitchen, and they don't really want to kind of interact with people. Like, they just want to give people something good, but they don't want to have people all around them and all that stuff.
Most chefs, you say,
Most
are like
chefs,
that.
yeah, most chefs are like that. And if they become famous and they are on the spotlight or whatever, believe me, it takes a lot of energy out of them.
Oh.
They wish they don't have to do it. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought, I all of a sudden I thought of Ramsay. Because I've watched lots of his
Yeah. Well,
chef.
if you know Ramsay's teacher, which is Marco Pierre White, is one of my role models. He's one of my heroes. The guy started the trend of rock star chefs.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a rock star. He was a chef, but he was a rock star. Like, kind of like you see the guy, but like, dude, he seems like a fucking. He's got a rock band or something like that. But he was a chef. He was great.
That's Ramsay's.
That's Ramsay's teacher. He was a chef. Yeah, like Ramsay worked with Marco Pierre White as his like a cook.
Cook.
Yeah, he learned everything from him, and but Marco Pierre White got to a point of his life where he couldn't handle the lights anymore. So he just stopped. He went somewhere in England, opened a small restaurant that takes like 10 people at a time, 10 people a day, whatever. He gave them his best, and that was it for him.
Is he still alive?
Oh, he's still alive. And then there's the opposite of him, which is Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain went to the light. You know, he was a great chef. He couldn't handle the lights. He committed suicide.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And if you see both of them in an interview, you can tell that Anthony Bourdain looking at Marco Pierre White and saying, "I wish I could just do like you." You know, I wish I just give it all up. I don't need it. You know, it's tough. The lights are tough for introverts. you know?
Yeah, especially those kinds of introvert, who do a huge amount of work inside a kitchen, and they have to be by themselves. And then you take them out to the light.
Yeah.
You see, it's like two different worlds.
Exactly.
You can either excel here or excel there. It's not a show.
Yeah.
You're not a clown.
You're
And
not
we
a
talked
clown.
about that
Yeah,
earlier,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
I just want to sit in my kitchen and put everything I have in it and give you the best I can.
Yeah. I just want to deal with the heat and the meat and the vegetables, and those are my thing. Those are like, and my people, which is the kitchen.
Yeah.
We're rebel in the kitchen. We're like pirates. We scream at each other. We make sure that everything is going in order. At the same time, if you're walking into a kitchen and you see the yelling and the calling and whatever, you think that this is chaos, but there is order in that chaos.
Nice.
There's so much order.
Nice. Of course.
Yeah. So
beautiful food comes out of that chaos,
exactly.
man. So
Yeah.
it must be working.
Yeah. Like people upstairs, they see, like outside the kitchen, they see the plates coming out. They're like, "Wow, this is amazing." They don't even know what goes through that.
Yeah.
The sweat, the hard work, and the hours, and the sleepless nights and stuff like that we put into that dish.
It's beautiful.
It's love. We're warriors. We are. This is what I like with the AI thing that most jobs gonna die. I'm like, being a chef or being a cook, it's never gonna die.
Hell no.
That's never gonna die.
There ain't gonna be no robot that makes you
a good steak.
A good steak.
Absolutely not.
No. I'm here to stay.
We're here to stay. That's the job that's never gonna die.
Yeah.
For real, man. Loving it. I gotta love it.
What do you think about those chefs? I don't know if I've seen this. I couldn't think what to make of it. So a chef comes out of the kitchen and goes over to the table and asks the customers what they thought of the dish. Like, where did that come from?
Look, chefs don't really go out to tables unless they asked. They've been asked to come because, like, let's say a guest come to a restaurant and they fall in love with the plate and they ask for the chef. They're like, "I just want to see the chef." Then the chef comes out. You will never find a chef that, like, out of nowhere, "How did you guys?" That's kind of insecurity. Do you guys like it?
Oh yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I know it's fucking good. You know what I'm saying?
I need to ask
I don't
you.
have to ask you. You're coming to me. I'm not going to you.
True.
True that's what it is. A good chef never come. Like they come out upon request. If you request for the chef, then they can.
Yeah, I want to see the guy who made this.
Exactly. I want to see the person who made this, and then they come out and be like, "Dude, this was amazing." And you'd be like, "Yeah, thank you. I mean, this is what we did. This is what we did."
Compliment.
Yeah,
that's it.
But to just out of nowhere and going around, did you like it? How was it good? That's insecurity. That means you don't know what you're doing.
And you need validation.
You need validation, exactly. Yeah, and yeah.
So you went over to the States with skills in your hand already.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that develop?
So when I went to the States in 2010.
That's like what?
14 years ago?
Well,
14 years ago.
14 years
14 years ago, yeah, 14 years ago. Went straight to New York. Honestly, I couldn't handle New York. It was too big for me. It was too crazy for me. So I moved to Boston. At the time, so because I went to the U.S. for school and I didn't go to school, so I was illegal. Yeah, for a period of my time. So I had to go look for jobs that pay cash, under the table jobs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I worked in random restaurants.
That was New York or Boston?
No, Boston.
Boston.
Yeah.
How long did you spend in Boston?
9 years.
So you must know Brahimi Mohammed, the guy I shot the first episode with.
Rings a bell, but I'm not sure. I did not look. I did not.
Didn't socialize a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a social
Kept
person.
to yourself.
I always have 2-3 friends in my life, and I'm content with that. My people, my family are always in the kitchen. The people I hang out, because I spent a lot of time working in the kitchen. So the people I work with, they become my family.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I'm grateful for our friend.
Oh yeah, Mehdi.
Mehdi.
Yeah.
I knew you through Mehdi.
Yeah. I'm
Shout out to Mehdi.
Mehdi Capitan. I see you, boo boo. So no, I did not really know a lot of people in Boston, and I always had 2 jobs. Yeah, at first. So I was working at a it was a pizza place with a Turkish guy. I remember I started with him in like 2 months. Then I became the manager, running the show for him, and then a year later, I moved to an Italian restaurant in North End, which is the Italian neighborhood in Boston, and worked under the table with some Italians. So I learned a lot about Italian cuisine. And then after I got situated, I got my papers and all that. Worked at a fine dining restaurant. It was at a hotel called Taj.
Taj.
Yeah, Taj in Boston. Worked, and then I learned the French cuisine from that place. Yeah, so
Oh.
it was my first interaction with French cuisine, and I just fell in love with it.
For real?
Oh yeah. Oh,
How
yeah,
would you describe it?
So the French cuisine is the mother of cuisines.
How so?
Yeah, the techniques, the modern cuisine, all the techniques now that we work with in most kitchens are taught by the French chefs. You know, they have the greatest chefs in the world. The gastronomy is of this world. Like literally, they are the best, and they have so much flavor. They know how to combine stuff, and they know. So do you know the science of making food the right way always? You know, so most techniques I learned from the French cuisine. Yeah. And so after that, like, I worked in another French cuisine in Boston, and then I stayed with them until I left Boston to California. When I got to California, went straight to a steakhouse. Then my love for the meat started. I just working with meat, and like it touched me, and I'm like, oh, I love this.
Man, you've been just, amassing experience after cuisine after cuisine,
Yeah.
and then it culminates to steaks,
to steaks
and
to
meat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when my love to meat began, I had to go learn the anatomy of meat. You know, the science of meat, knowing every muscle, how to treat every muscle of the cow. You know, knowing the what makes a good meat and a bad meat. You know, like how do we get there? You know,
Does it matter in
It
cooking?
does.
What part of the body or what part of the...
It does.
It does.
You know, look at it this way. So when you have a muscle, you look at the muscle and you see this muscle moves a lot or not. If it moves a lot, it needs long time cooking.
Okay.
You know, it
Makes
needs a
sense.
slow cooking. If it doesn't move a lot, it does not need much cooking. For example, like let's say the tenderloin, the filet mignons, they don't need cooking. You can eat them raw. You know, the beef tartare is raw.
Yeah, just
The carpaccio is raw. You know, because that muscle never moves. It's inside.
Yeah.
It does not move at all. So it's very tender. You know, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look the shank, or let's say the shoulder or the breast, or you know, like the brisket, let's say the brisket, the breast of the cow. So the cow always eats, you know, so she goes up and down, up and down. So she works this muscle a lot. So the brisket, it's the best cut that you can smoke for 12 to 14 hours of cooking, but it comes out succulent, and it's just like it melts in your hand, you know? So because you treated it right. So you cannot take the brisket and try to cook it as if it's a steak. It's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
see.
Or you can take a filet mignon or cook it as tagine. That's never gonna happen, because it's just gonna be dry at the end. You know, it's gonna be like chewy and stuff like that because you didn't treat it right. So you have to know your meat before you cook it.
So we're missing on a lot.
We are, and we
Chucking
just-
any piece of meat in a tagine and just cooking it.
and just cook
So,
it.
yeah.
And also, like, I mean, the fact that you go to, I've experienced this a lot in Morocco. You go to a butcher and they give you whatever the hell they want. Even if you're asking them about certain things, you'd be like, no, I know this one is good for you. I remember I went to a butcher and I asked for short ribs, and he was like, what are you gonna cook it for? I'm like, I want it for tagine. He was like, no, I know
A better
cut.
piece for
I'm like,
better
no,
cut.
I want short rib. He was like, no, I know this cut is good for you. I'm like, no, I want that cut. Can you just give me that? And he went ahead and started cutting another piece of meat, literally. And I waited for him until he was done. And he was like, oh, عندك جوج كيلو? I'm like, I don't want it. And I walked away.
I didn't ask for it.
I didn't ask for that. I literally asked you for I want it 3 times. You can't give me what you want. I'm the client here. I'm paying you.
Yeah.
You know. And so the problem is they don't understand how to use the other cuts of meat. You know. So for example, if you give me short ribs, because I want short ribs, if somebody else comes for a certain type of cooking, you're gonna give them that meat that you want to sell. You know, like make the best out of the cow. It's easy.
Yeah.
You know,
And you could cook it all differently.
Differently, yeah.
Nothing's left out.
Exactly. You can take a rumstick and you can make it. I don't know, a steak. You can smoke it. You can cook it as nimansi. You can do so many things. You can take a shank. You can cook it as tunjia. You can cook it as kso. You can do so many things. You can take a steak. You know, like the cuts. Just learn your cuts.
Yeah.
Learn how to sell those cuts to people. You know. And you're gonna make money. People will love you actually. You know, not giving people what you want or you want to get rid of.
Yeah.
I remember one time he was like, I went for a shank and he was like, oh, I can give you a shank now. I was like, why? He was like, because I'm not there yet. I have to start the cow from the bottom to the top. I'm like, what a bummer, man. Seriously.
So you mentioned something about 12, 14 hour long.
Cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, it is a thing.
How do you do
it's
it?
not cooking. Look, it's smoking.
Smoking, yeah.
Yeah. So the smoking technique is that it's a low heat, but you're cooking with the smoke. You're cooking with the smoke of the wood. Usually we use so there are like few types of wood that are good for meat. Not all types of wood are good for meat. Some of them they give you this kind of tartness when you cook with them.
Wow.
For example, like I like to cook with oak, which is العود البلوط. I like oak. I like applewood. I like olive wood.
All those are good.
Hickory, yeah, like hickory, which is what do you call it? What's hickory in Arabic? Gotta look it up.
Wouldn't know, yeah.
Yeah. So this are type of wood that literally, like if you eat meat that's been smoked with oak, I can guarantee you're never gonna go back to any type of meat. You'll be like, this is amazing. It's all nature. Like literally, there's nothing involved other than fire and meat.
No seasoning.
Well, there is some seasoning,
There's some
of
seasoning,
course. Yeah, there is some seasoning. It's just like salt and pepper, pretty much. For the best brisket, salt, pepper, fire, smoke, meat. That's it. And what I like about smoking, and I love smoking meat. The idea I like about smoking is the experience you get out of smoking. Because let's say you start a nice cut of meat, you season it well, you start your fire, you pick the wood, and then it lights up, and then the smoke starts coming out, and then you close your smoker, and you go hang out with your buddies around that smoker, sit, have a beer, or have a drink, or have tea, or coffee, or whatever, and just hang out. And every couple hours you go check on it, you smell it, you touch it. That's passion. That's for me. Cooking is the experience I get out of it. Especially when I'm cooking for example, cooking for the restaurant. It's all about mise en place. You have to prepare certain things ahead of time. But cooking at home or smoking, whatever, it's like it's the pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
It's the experience I get. I could start smoking and call my buddies and just come and hang out, have a good time.
And then you all know it'll end with an amazing.
Yes. By the time it's done, I mean we're like hungry. Bring it on, baby, bring it on. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, look, food is life, man.
Literally.
Not just to eat. We don't eat to survive. No, we don't survive to eat. We eat to. For me, like I'm talking like Joe Biden right now.
Nah, man. That guy belongs to a nursery home.
Because he always like, look, let me tell you. So I remember one day, I was like, dude, what the hell are you talking about?
Give me a sentence.
Give me a sentence. No, for real. Like food is joy. Food is meditation. Cooking is meditation. Like when you connect. Like sometimes when you see me cooking or cutting a vegetable, whatever, I go to a whole different world. I'm not here anymore. Yeah, I'm very connected with that. And they say like sometimes where you are disconnected, you know, from the present, you have to touch something that brings you back to the present. You know, because we always live either in past or in the future or whatever. You know, we're never present in the moment.
So, but cooking
Cooking
lets you do that.
gives you that. You know, cooking because you are present in that moment.
You can't miss on anything.
No.
Your mind is
Exactly.
in the moment.
And like your life goes in a slow-mo, you know, because you're touching, you're looking at, like if you're peeling a tomato or a potato, like you're peeling it, you're looking at it, you hear the sound, you know, it's a whole experience.
And it lets you live in the moment.
The moment.
I couldn't but think of, we talked about bikes before, remember?
Yeah.
I can say the same thing about bikes.
I can
because
imagine.
when you're riding
Yeah.
a bike, it's totally different from riding a car. Because you have to be present every second of the way. You cannot lose focus.
Exactly.
And it's that effect that it gives you, that you're living the moment.
The moment, yeah, true.
Right. So that's why those rides are memorable. So you could say the same thing about cooking.
Yeah. I can.
You can
tell
remember every time you cooked a particular dish.
Every single moment to create that dish, I can remember like the exact steps I took.
Man, you live more. You live more.
Yeah, you
when
live
cook.
more. Yeah, you literally live the moment. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing for me. It's meditation. It's love. It feeds your soul before it feeds your stomach. You know, you know, my soul is happy when I'm cooking.
I could tell. I could tell. I
Yeah.
watch your reels, man, and I could feel it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so back to Cali. You said you moved to Cali,
Heaven,
got
man.
into the
Heaven.
heaven on earth.
Heaven. Yeah. Yeah, I love California.
You wouldn't trade it anywhere else?
Well, I'm trading it from Morocco now.
Morocco's home, baby.
See, Morocco is home, definitely. I always, before moving to California, I was gonna move back to Morocco
For good?
for good.
Wow.
I love Morocco. I love being here. You know, it feels home. You know, it feels
Naturally.
like the same exact feeling I feel when I go to my parents' house, and I sit in the small moments, the little things that really bring me joy. Hanging out with my mother and my father, and over a small tagine, and you know, and some tea and a good conversation.
Nothing like
I can. That means the world to me. I could pay millions of dollars for that moment, you know, and yet it's still free, you know. And it's the same thing in Morocco. I feel safe home. You know, I feel safe. I feel this is my country. And also, I have this burden of I want to make a little change in my country.
Nice.
I want to be a part of the new wave.
Nice.
You know, I want to be a part of the change with a little thing that I could do. You know, it's not much, but at least I would be known for the guy who helped changing the meat culture in the country. Why not?
God, of course.
You know,
Hell
why
yeah.
not? I mean, that's something that I wanted to get to. You know, to at least change something. You know.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, I don't want to change the world. Couldn't care less about the world.
I just want to change the way the butcher give me my meat.
Exactly. I just want people to eat good. That's it. Yeah, I mean, look, when the world is collapsing, you still want to go for a good meal. You know, when they have the execution in the USA, when you go.
They ask him, what do you want?
What do you want? What's your last meal?
That's the last pleasure.
That means something. You know,
It
people
does.
want to have a good meal before you die. You know, the world is collapsing. I want to have a good steak. You know?
Yeah, man, yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It is what it is. And you know that as humans, we've developed the moment we found out about, the moment we invented the fire. I mean, we did not invent anything. You just figured out how to make it.
Yeah.
We figured how to make fire, and then we start cooking our meats. So that's what distinguishes us from other animals. You know, because the chewing time became less for us, so we had more time to do other things. You know, it's history, literally.
is.
Yeah, this is what got us what we are right now. It's fire and food. Yeah. So yeah, we're grateful for oaks and good meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Does it taste different when you cook it with different woods? Meat?
yeah.
It
Because
does?
the smoke, for example, like applewood tastes different than olive wood, and then oak tastes different than hickory. So like they have to. It's like you're eating. Let's say you're eating an apple, and you're eating olive. They don't taste alike. They
Definitely.
don't taste the same.
Yeah.
Their wood is also the same.
Equally.
Yeah.
that
It tastes the smoke that comes out of it. It tastes different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And you need to know your smoke too, because there's the bad smoke and good smoke. For example, when you're smoking, you have to stop that, like you have to lit it, like lit the fire, eat the wood, and then at the end of that smoke that comes out is the good smoke. You know what I'm saying? But if there is no fire, like let's say you start a fire and then it dies out right away, there is this dark smoke that comes out.
That's not
and
good.
It's not good.
It leaves a bad taste in the
It
meat.
leaves a bad taste in the meat. So it's also a skill.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's not everybody.
When are you gonna start your own thing, man? I wanna come taste that.
Inshallah, someday. Well, I'm doing this thing with Andalus.
Okay.
It's a good run. I love it because
They do
the people
steaks?
I choose. I've got a lot of offers before, but why I choose Grill Andalus because the owners, it's a family that they've been doing meat for a long time here in Rabat. They are meat lovers just like me.
Oh.
And they are not just in it for the money. They're in it for the quality. They are known for their quality. And they will never change that for anything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I tried their meat before. I know they had good meat.
Okay.
But they were struggling with the chefs that they had, you know. So when they call me like, hey, listen, we want to just go big. We want to have the quality of meat matches quality of our plates.
Okay.
I was like, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. So, and also, as I said earlier, I want to bring this, you know, like an upscale casual cuisine without the shenanigans of, you know, entertainment or alcohol, or you have to pay a shitload of money to go get a good meal. It's still for everyone.
Yeah.
You can come in, bring your family. Also, we pray that the menu is got all the generations. So you have a big table, and you see you have the grandma, the father, the mother, the grandchildren. So the grandma comes and get like the kibda, you know, the tagine foie, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the father gets boulfef, and then the kids they get burger. The daughter gets a steak. So it's like a combination of all the generation. Everybody gets happy.
Nice.
You know, you can't give a grandma, like an old lady, a traditional
burger.
lady, a burger.
Yeah.
Like my father, if you give him ground beef and bread, he will eat it. If you put the ground beef inside the bread as a burger, you're like, no, that's not for me. It's a mindset.
Yeah. You gotta please everyone.
You gotta please everyone. You gotta make everyone happy.
And you think that place does it, or at least they're in the process of making it happen?
We are making it happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we're there. We're there.
All right.
We're there. We changed 80% of what we agreed on, and I'm satisfied with what we got.
Okay.
Too. Yeah,
All right.
I am. There's so many difficulties, especially with the staff. But I'm trying to inject that love of the craft into them.
Okay.
Love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, because the moment you love it, it's not a job anymore.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it just becomes fun.
Yeah.
For real.
Oh,
You don't get tired anymore. You get tired when you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I want to go back. For real. Like sometimes I'm at home and I can't wait for the day to come so I can go back to the kitchen.
Of course, man.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah,
That's what happens when
it is
you
a drive.
love what you do. You don't have to work a day in your life.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's no longer work. Yeah.
So
it's fun.
you've just given me an idea, and I've been cooking this for a while now, and you have no clue what it is. You asked me about those glasses I bought. I had earlier, right? So I bought these specifically for a concept that I'm about to start. We got two pairs, me and my buddy, And we're planning on doing honest reviews for restaurants. Kid you not. We bought these specifically for that concept. So we plan on going into restaurants we don't know, trying them out, and capturing the entire experience. Right? Service,
Yeah.
the food, the hygiene, and we leave. We don't even need to comment. We'll let the
We'll
viewer.
let people decide.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a great idea.
So I'll be more than happy to try that restaurant you've been talking
Just
to me
don't
about.
let me know when you're coming in.
I'm not.
So you get the real experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's actually a good idea because one of the things that are bothering me right now in Morocco is these food critics that have no background. They don't know what they're doing. They're doing it for the money, obviously.
Of course.
They get paid to go.
And say this is good.
This is good.
That's
They
ridiculous.
get
I
paid
talked about this.
to rate restaurants, and that's sad, man. Like why? When did we become driven by money?
Yeah.
You know, what is the love of things? What is the honesty? What happened to honesty?
Exactly.
You know, why can't we have? You know, it's not their fault. It's our fault because we're not out there fighting them for it.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do. We really have to have honest people fighting back the money-driven ones. You know, we can't sit here and be like, oh, why are they doing it?
No,
Then
go out there and
fix it.
Do it the right way.
Do it the right way.
And then people will start listening to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with the idea, man.
Thank
Go
you.
for it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go for it.
What pushed me to do it is time and time again I go somewhere and I'm not satisfied. Either it's the service or the food, and I feel bad about it. I'm like, you know, I want to do something about this.
You know, another thing that it's bad is that when you go to a restaurant and you don't like what's going on, you don't like the food and stuff like that, and you speak about it, there is a thing that people tell you, حشومة, because
Thank you.
they don't understand that if that person wanna keep his rizq, he needs to do a better job.
Yeah.
We're here to make him do a better job. We're not here to cut his money
Exactly.
or his income.
Yeah.
We're here to say that, hey, if we start doing this, if we start doing critics, if we criticize these restaurants and stuff like that,
Constructively,
you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be on their toes because they don't never know when it's gonna happen to them. So they're always gonna be on their toes. It's the same thing in America. Now all restaurants are on their toes at all times. You know, because you never know when those critics gonna show up.
Nice.
Sit at your table and order, and then if they don't like it, they're gonna butcher you the day after. So nobody wants that, and it's a good thing. So it's not about. It's just gonna make that person, the restaurant owner, they're
Do
gonna
the best
make
they can.
the best they can,
Do the best
and that's
they
what they're supposed to do. You know, just do your best. If you're getting money, if you're making a fortune out of this, make it right. You know, don't sell me bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm paying my money.
Exactly.
Everything is becoming expensive.
Exactly.
You know, so at least I want to get a good things. out
Exactly.
of
Yeah. And
this.
go home happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna go out there and spend a lot of money and then be disappointed.
There you go.
Yeah. And then most of the times you have to go back because there is no other alternative.
Yeah, man.
You're just like, what the hell?
I just want to eat.
I'm like now most of the times I cook at home. I'm like, if I don't eat at where I'm at now, I cook at home because, or I go for sure. I know I'm not gonna be disappointed. I know I'm gonna pick my meat. I'm gonna make it, grill it for me. I eat it. I'm happy. A lot of people, they see me posting stories about shwa, whatever. Like, oh, you don't go to the restaurant? I'm like, no, I go. I just don't post it because most of the times I'm disappointed. You know,
Yeah.
so at least I know what I'm eating. You know.
And I can imagine someone like yourself, you're going to be hard to please because...
Tell my wife that. She hates it.
I feel bad for her, man. God.
She can't. She does. She's
Last
like,
no
she got to a point like,
I'm
not cooking for you. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like my buddy, when I go to his house, his wife literally leaves the kitchen. She's like, nope, I'm not doing this.
I ain't hearing it from you.
I don't want to hear anything. That's your kitchen. Do whatever you want. Literally, I kick her out of the kitchen. I'm like, get out of here. I'm gonna cook.
Oh.
So yeah, my mother also, even she's an awesome cook. My mother, literally, I swear to God, every time, my sister tells me this, every time I'm going home, she's doing extra Like she's cooking extra, she's making everybody taste it. She's like, is it good? Is it good? Like I'm your son. I'm never gonna criticize what you cook. You know, just
Chill,
take
mama.
it easy.
Chill,
She's
mama.
like, no, I don't know, I don't know. And then I'm like, come on. Yeah, it's good, but also it's a curse because nobody cooks for me anymore. I always have to cook for myself. It is. It's a curse. I always have to cook. Like nobody can be like, oh, I'm not gonna cook for you, man. I don't know. You're too. You're a hard critic. Because I don't get shy from criticizing food. If I don't like it, I'm like, ah.
Yeah, but you know what I think? I think you're gonna spend a little more time with those guys in that restaurant you told me about. You'll teach them what they need to know, and soon enough, you'll sit down and they'll be serving you something that you'll be pleased with.
Yeah,
That's an achievement.
Yeah, it is an achievement.
That will like, feel
for
good.
The people, the staff I have now, I am almost satisfied, not 100%.
Okay.
But I'm almost satisfied. So like now I can just call and tell them to make me something. Okay. And I get happy when I get it the exact way I wanted it to be.
That's good.
So they are getting there. They're getting there.
That's good.
Yeah, and getting there, and it makes me happy because my work didn't go to waste.
Of course.
Yeah. It was worth.
That's fulfilling, man. That's fulfilling. Like you teach a skill to someone, and then you see the fruit of that.
Yeah.
And in cooking, you eat the fruit of that. You
exactly.
You don't.
You
don't just see
it. Doesn't go to waste. You see it, you eat it. Yeah, it's such a lovely evening, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, loving it.
Listen, you restored my faith in the kitchen.
In the industry, yeah.
In the industry.
Well, look, it's coming up. Because we don't have any other way, especially now we are open to the world, way more than before.
Yeah.
We are going to host the World Cup, for God's sake. If we don't work, especially on the customer service, we have a terrible customer service in Morocco.
We do.
We have the worst.
We do.
Literally, I am very disappointed. I lived in America. You know the customer service over there?
I know, man.
Dude, the moment you walk in, you are treated like a king.
I know. Customer's king.
Everybody takes care of you.
Yeah.
Everybody makes you happy. Before you even call someone, they're there for you.
Yeah.
Here, dude, I get to a point that I'm not a rude person, but I get to a point that they leave me no choice but to be rude or be mean or be something like that. Because I can't just let it go. I can't just let it slide.
I know.
You know, it's annoying.
I know it
so
is.
we really have to work on it. We really have to work on our customer service. I mean, either we kind of start having programs for people. I mean, if you don't go to, like, let's say to hospitality or whatever, at least we have some programs like a 2-month, 3-month certificates or whatever for people
to teach you how to do the thing.
Yeah, exactly. How to do it right.
That's good.
You know, we need to do this.
Yeah.
We need to have certain things like this because, I mean, we're going to have tons of people coming in from all over the world.
And saying things about you.
And,
Either talking good or saying shit about you.
I mean, and, you know, for them, for example, like their reviews and stuff like that, it's worldwide. You know, I mean, for an American or even a European, before they come to Morocco, they look into Yelp and TripAdvisor and they read all the comments and all the reviews or whatever before they visit you. So you have to be good because this is a source of income for Morocco. This is economy. Tourism is a big part of our economy.
And with social media now, it's either easier for you to mess it up or to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
So if you're good, they're going to say good things about you. If you mess it up, then you're losing customers, you're bleeding money, and you go bankrupt.
Yeah.
But I feel hopeful about this.
I do too. Look, I've been coming to Morocco for the last 5 years. I've been coming more frequently. I see things changing. Okay. And it makes me happy. You know, that's why I want to be part of the train. You know, I want to hop on that train. And
I'm hopping on that train too.
Yeah.
Honest reviews. Yeah. And I'd love to get your counseling and your advice and your...
Be more than happy, man.
Thank you so much.
Be more than happy.
It's been a great talking to you,
man.
brother.
Pleasure to
Thank you
be
so
here.
much.
Thanks
We do this.
lot,
We should do this more often.
Dude, I'm around the corner. Hit me up.
Thank you so much.
You got it, man.
That was good.
It was good. It was great.